Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 ways to be the real you. And you're going to want to stay until the very end for this one because that's the key point. And before we get started, a little bit about me. So I want to start with a question that was asked me on my Facebook account. The question is the self a fixed entity or is it constantly evolving? If it's a latter, how do we reconcile with our past, present, and future selves? So this is a great question, and it's going to lead us into the 5 ways to be the real you. So let's tackle number 1, the past, the present, and the future. How many of you guys had woke up, you're thinking about the past, and you're thinking about all the mistakes that you made, you end up talking yourself down? I know I went through that. So if you felt that way, you're not alone. So one thing I want to encourage every single person that's watching this, when you wake up in the morning, don't be defined by the memory of the past, the mistakes of the past. Sure, there are things we could do better, but at the moment we didn't know. But when you wake up, be defined by the vision of the future. And there is this moment of what we call now. The moment right now, which is called present, it's a gift. Right now is a time where we could define the future. Whatever we do right now is going to create the next. I remember my therapist told me before, regret is a useless energy because we can't change the past. We can learn from the past. So that's the first thing. To reconcile the past is look at what have you learned from those experiences. Everything that you have learned, it's building you up to become somebody. I will tell you, my biggest lessons are from my biggest falls, my biggest failures. Failing is not an identity, by the way. FAIL means first attempt and learning. The thing is, to be the real you is to own up to it. Don't be ashamed about it. Don't be shy about it. I'll tell you this, I've been fired before. I have business partner breakups. I've been rejected multiple times. I went through a divorce. And I used to be very, very ashamed of all of that. I was ashamed of my upbringing. I didn't grow up from a great family. But now today, I own up to it. And that's how I reconcile because I changed the story that I have. Every single thing I went through in the past has built me up to who I am today. I'm not perfect. But who defines perfect? By the time I got a divorce when I was 34 years old, my life literally crumbled because everything I believed on at the time was, okay, I'm old, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm becoming a single mom. In 2018, I didn't really have a place to live. I was staying with my friends here and there with my 3-year-old son, and I was crying. And that was the moment he looked at me. He said, "Mommy, why are you crying?" And then I looked at him and I experienced a shift. And that was the moment I made a decision. I made a decision that this is just the beginning and it's not the end. So I looked at him and I said, "Mommy just fell, but I'm gonna get back up." That was the moment I took my power back. I started to look for what I'm gonna do next. I started to say, life is still young. I started to say, yes, I went through a divorce, but I can have another family. And fast forward, that's where I'm at today. But going through all of that process, I had to go through a lot of healing, which will lead me to number 2. The number 2 is the nature of self is always evolving. When you look at this from the past, I made a lot of mistakes in the past at which I could do better. But I was making decisions on the highest awareness that I know because I've never done it before. Why is it so many people when they first start out, they're like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing," which is true. When I first started to make movies, when I first started to become a coach, when I first started to speak, I don't know what I'm doing. And the truth is, making this YouTube channel, I don't really know what I'm doing. But I know I'm taking the action so I could learn along the way. It's a process. So we're always evolving because while you are doing better and better by every single try, what happened is you're growing. You have more knowledge, more experience, more wisdom. So we're always going to evolve. I want you to think about one thing. My son, who's 10 years old, $100 to him means so much. But as an adult, not so much. Why is that? Because I've grown. I learned how to earn $100. So my goal keeps reaching higher and higher and higher, because the more you do something, it's going to be easier. So I know if I keep making this YouTube channel, and I made that decision, I'm going to do that. By keep making the videos, I'm going to get better and better and better and better and better. And it's going to become easy and effortless. The thing is, we're always evolving as a human being. When you look at relationships, one of the reasons why a lot of relationships don't work out is usually one person will outgrow another, because we're growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. Have you ever experienced in a situation where you learn something new at work, or you learn something new in a situation, and you just feel really good? And that feeling of really good is actually more rewarding than the monetary. I definitely felt that way before. So this leads to number 3, which is forgiveness. The power of forgiveness. As I mentioned before, I've been hurt. I went through divorce, I've been fired, I had partnership fallout, I had people talking behind my back and got back to me. And it was very, very hurtful, so much so that I was paralyzed. But then my mentor told me, you gotta forgive. It felt impossible, because I'm like, all these guys, all these people, they were just hurting me. But here's what I've learned about the power of forgiveness, is it's a change of perception. And what I've learned the most is forgiving myself. When I look at the past of all the mistakes I've done, I would be like, oh my gosh, what was I doing? This is so stupid. And believe me, if you put a mic next to my head, it is criminal how I speak to myself. And the most rewarding thing is to really forgive myself, because we're usually the hardest on ourselves. Let's talk about Ho'opono. Ho'opono is an ancient Hawaiian practice, and it is a self-healing process that allows you to take self-responsibility. It's really 4 very simple mantras. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. So let's break this down a little bit even more. When I'm saying I'm sorry, I'm really forgiving anything that I have caused in this situation. And usually it's from the past, right? Because you feel bad for something that happened. Please forgive me. It's apologizing and forgiving myself if I have caused any harm knowingly or unknowingly, because sometimes things just happen. Thank you. And when you say thank you, it gives you yourself the opportunity to heal. And when you say I love you, it shows a lot of appreciation for yourself, and it creates connections with others. By healing ourselves, we contribute to healing the external world. It's all about clearing energy and restoring harmony. These are the 4 mantras that you could carry around with you for forgiveness, forgiving yourself, and then as we also forgive others. Remember, forgiveness, forgiving someone is a change in perception. In other words, when we do that, we're taking that power back. What's the use of giving someone so much of your energy and so much of your time? But why not take the control back for yourself so we can move on to the next? And number 4, it's where are you heading towards in the future? So we talked about the past, and then the present, and now the future. This is a really great time to vision cast. What is it that you want in your life? If you want some help to help you understand where you're heading, the link is below, so you can watch a video that I made on how to discover your authentic self. But you want to know where you're heading, and that's really important, because when you know where you're heading, then you know the life that you're creating. And then leads to next one, live in the present now. This very moment now. Don't live in the past. You visualize the future of where you're heading. It is now where you start to take action. Remember, right now, today is a gift. It is a present that you have for yourself. What kind of actions and decisions are you making for yourself? Are you leading yourself there? Every single moment, once it's gone, it's not coming back. Here's the thing. Whatever it comes down here, that's the past. It's not going anywhere. Here is the now. These are the future. How are you living? And if you're thinking, okay, this is a great start, but I still want more information, in the next video, I'm going to give you 5 ways to help you boost your self-confidence. I will see you there.